Hi there, Interbet fans, and welcome to the podcast for this Greyville meeting, Sunday the 29th of September, where we've got an 8-race program, no barrier trials to bother us with in the early part of the day, and we kick off on the poly track at 12:50, 10 to 1, 1200 meters maiden plate, absolute three-cornered contest. One Red Hot Night is my first choice, and I think he's worth having a very nice each way on this horse. I think he'll run extremely well. Kingston Rock from the Crawford stable, I like the look of him. He's got a couple in the race. He's got Bold Phoenix as well. And there is confidence with both of them, but I do think that Kingston Rock might be the better with a 4-kilogram claimer. Number 12, that's the third choice, is Williams Land. There's been money for this one, and not a bad barrier first run. And he didn't barrier trial, came from Kenilworth, and he's well drawn at 3, and Warren Kennedy shows that there's definitely some thoughts of this horse having a chance. But it's quite a difficult race if you look past these three. Alma Mater didn't run a bad last run, and Lord Caro looks to improve as well. So both of them come into the race with some sort of chance. Race 2, maiden plate, 1400 meters, and this is quite an interesting race because we have a 7 to 10 shot in here, and that is perfectly putt. Mike the Cock inmate who's coming down and raiding from Joburg. He does look like a right horse with draw 2. Gets the blinkers for the first time. That's got to be a huge runner for him, and give him a big chance. Jalapeno, I expect this to run well. If he's well drawn, I'd give him a huge chance in this race, but he's drawn 14. That's not the best draw over 1400 meters, but he has Warren Kennedy. He knows his way, how to maneuver his way around Greyville Racecourse, so I expect Jalapeno to run very well indeed. What are the rest of them? Ron's Joy might end up going to the front. Serena Moodley gets to ride this one. Last time was patently too far for him. And Ariano Spinner gets a 4-kilogram claimer and drawn 11 as well. That's not going to help his cause. Race 3, first leg of the pick 6. And it's very hard to look past Onyeka Montana. I think that will run really well and very hard to beat Onyeka Montana. And I expect it to be right in the play. Dutch Alley, Dean Canamare's runner. I expect this to be a big danger. Of the rest of them, Master George drawn 1 might improve. There's not much else in the race. Rasputin's Remedy's got some sort of chance, but you've got to believe that Onyeka Montana is the right horse in the race, and I'm going very strongly with that and think it's a banker. Race 4, maiden plate, 2,000 meters, absolute three-cornered contest. Charlie McGreevy, the scratching of Al Ragnar makes this one of those races where there should only be 3 in it that have got a chance. Charlie McGreevy, I did like the look of him. Last time I thought he was big in the parade ring. I thought he'd improve a lot from it, and I expect him to run really well, Charlie McGreevy. So he's a big runner there. Number 2, Head Boy. Look for big improvement from this horse. He's had nothing go right for him his last few starts, and I expect him to run well. And Ice Baron could be anything. He's a very nice improver. Looks like he's got a big chance. Race 5, Mary rated 68. They've got 1900 meters. Another three-cornered contest. Favor does look like he's particularly well handicapped. He came from nowhere last time. He is drawn right on the outside. That's not in his favor. He was very unlucky last time in that he got badly hampered, but nearly fell. But he came through to win a very good race. But the others are close to him. Viento, I like the look of him. Warren Kennedy, I think, is a great jockey booking, and I expect Viento to run really well. Room at the top, second run after a rest. Look for a bit of a flat run from this one. And then Ijiketo from the Brett Crawford stable. I think this is the big danger. 4-kilogram claimer, lot to like about this horse. I expect it to run really well, Ijiketo. So that's the way I see this race. The favor form might work out to be particularly good in the race. Race 6, Mary rated 68, 1,000 meters. It's only 2 horses. Well, Prince of Venice has now been scratched. So the 2 horses I like, Yas ran during the week and look for big improvement. I expect it to improve here. And then Alpha Mike Foxtrot, I expect this one to run really well as well in a race that's from draw 1. Looks like he's got a big chance. Jonathan, well, he's been knocking at the door and there are expectations about him, so let's see what he can do. But I think that it looks like a moderate horse to me. Right, let's move on to race 7. And this is the Fillies and Mares 90. They go 1,400 meters. And I would think that this is the type of race where you need the field. You either bank Escape Club, drawn 1, but that is second run after arrest. Although her profile looks good, second run after arrest, 1 from 1. So she's got to have a big chance. But if you don't bank her, take the whole lot, because there are a lot of horses got chance. Lovely Luke is a stable change, goes to 1,400. Oil got bottom weight, 4 kilos off her back. Looks like a big runner. Petra, look for big improvement there. The Classic Guard, Ariana Shadow. Just looks like a field race to me. Race 8, Mary rated 68. They go 1,400 meters. And if you don't bank a best day of my life, you've got to take the lot, because this does look like the good thing. He was the one that was badly nearly stumbled and fell, and expect him to run very, very well here. It wasn't that other Crawford runner. That there's the way you do these things when you're doing one-off takes on the television. At least when we're just doing a podcast, it's not so difficult. But this podcast gives you the whole story. And Best Day of My Life does look like the one. Of the rest, Puccini, Lauren or Rochelle, maybe Dale Haas could improve. I think it's just a shocking race, and Best Day of My Life looks like an absolute blinder in a race where he's come down and he's gone up in the ratings by 2 points, and he's come down in the type of class he's taking on. Let's have a look at what is the best bet. Well, it's hard to look past Annika Montana from the Mike de Kock stable, but I don't like tipping odds on shots. I tipped one on Wednesday because I thought it was an absolute certain just a guy thing. I'm going to go Red Hot Night each way in race 1. I think that there's a lot of value in that one. From me, James Goodman, and the whole Interbet crew, hope you have a great day's racing at Greyville.